Welcome yogis, this is Phil Landel. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for participating in this amazing cause, something that's near and dear to my heart, especially with the arrival of Yolina 4 months ago. We all hope that for the best for our children. So without further ado, let's start our yoga practice. I'm just going to pass this off into the void. Come to the top of our mats. Both sides of the feet relatively parallel. The crown is tall and feeling light and effortless. I invite you to bring focus to the breath and first acknowledge the miracle of the human body, all its complexities. Feeling gratefulness for all the things we take for granted. Placing hands to heart. Take a deep inhale, fill the lungs up. Exhale all the way. Maintain the height of the spine. Inhale to chant Om. As you inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, elevate the shoulders, lengthen. Exhale, hips back, reach forward, spine as straight as long as possible as you fold.
Walk the right foot back, stay high to the tips of the fingers, lift the heart a bit.
As you exhale, press into the palms, tone the back thigh, walking left foot back behind you, high plank. Inhale to lean forward into the tips of the fingers, place the knees down, lift the gaze. Exhale, diagonal chaturanga, elbows point back, we lower down, all the way to the chin. Shoulders roll back, lift the heart, cobra pose, lengthen. And exhale to shift your hips back and up, downward facing dog.
Ground the left foot, kick your right leg up to the sky to inhale. Exhale, lift the left heel, roll forward like a plank, and walk your right foot to the outside of the right hand.
Doesn't quite make it there, you can walk it forward.
Ground the left palm, reach your right arm up to the sky,
Easy twist. Think of toning the inner left thigh, lengthening crown away from the back heel. Another full inhale, lots of length. As you exhale, pick up the hips a bit and pivot to the left side of your mat, to the long side. Toes point in slightly, half lift, flat back. Exhale to hinge and fold forward.
Take another full breath here, maybe pushing a little weight into the hands.
Exhale to soften.
Inhale. Lift the heart, walk your hands to face the front again. We can frame the hands on either side of that right foot, maybe onto blocks, and settle the left knee down to the ground.
Find strength in those legs and lift your chest up, arms to the sky. Exhale, settle into the hips, Anjaneyasana. Lots of length on the inhale. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Pick up your back knee. Take a baby step forward with your left leg as you straighten out the right leg, lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge and fold forward.
We'll hold it here for another breath. Anchor the heel, draw the hip back, lengthen the spine.
Hinge at the hip crease.
Wonderful. Now bend both knees, hover the left knee an inch off the ground. Try to keep your spine nice and straight. Load that front leg and walk your back foot in chair pose. Settle into the hips. Bring all of your weight to your left foot and then bring yourself up, right knee in towards your chest. Find your stability, your height. Tone in, pull to the midline. Keeping your pelvis nice and level. Start to kick your right heel back as you lean forward to counterbalance. So your pelvis is facing the ground, trying to point the toes down to the ground. Lots of length, inhaling. Exhale as you bend the knee and lean back. See if you can lower the toes and the hands down to the ground under control. Anchor the hands. Kick left leg up to the sky. Exhale to bend the knee and open up the hip. Options here may be to make a big circle with your left knee in one direction. Other direction, just kind of lubricating that hip. Inhale, kick that left leg up to the sky. And exhale, roll forward, bring your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Left arm up to the sky, easy twists. Lots of stability in the back leg, lots of stability in the bottom shoulder. Fingertips gripping, lots of length, inhale. Exhale, hips lift, and we pivot to the long side of the mat again. Find that half lift flat back. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. So the knees can be bent, no problem. You can press the thigh bones wide. If the legs are straight, you pull the inner thighs back and up. Inhale. Lift the chest up, walk yourself back to the front. And exhale, settle the back knee down to the ground. Find your stability. Pressing up, arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink the hips down without collapsing in your lower back. Strong glutes, strong abdominals, lengthen. And exhale, hands come down. Pick up the back knee, walk the foot in just a bit to straighten out that left leg-ish. Anchor the heel, draw the hip back, lengthen the spine. Fold forward on your exhale. If that left knee is bent, that's fine. Press the thigh bone wide. If the left leg is straight completely, think of the inner thigh pulling back and up. Now bend both knees, hover the right knee an inch off the ground. Find a straight spine, so lift your chest up a bit. Walk the back foot in, sink back into your chair. Now we're loading the right leg and pressing left knee in towards our chest. Find your stability, find your height. Tone in like you're hugging something between your thighs. Little bit of weight to that right heel. Full inhale. Exhale, move towards your warrior three and focus on the stability and the alignment of your pelvis. Toes pointing down, lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, bend and lean back. So we're loading that right hamstring as we bring the toes and fingertips down onto the ground. Anchor those hands, keep your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Make a big circle one direction. Big circle other direction. Keep that leg up to the sky to inhale. And exhale, roll forward, walk, foot between the hands. Good. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the heart. Exhale, walk that back foot forward, full, top of your mat. And a nice long inhale as you find a half lift. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Find your chair pose, bum back, lift the heart. Exhale to settle a little bit deeper into those hips. Good. And now try to lift your heels off the ground, tone your calf muscles. We'll try to straighten out the legs. Try to go nice and slow. If you wobble, instantly forgive yourself. Try again. Maybe smile inside your heart. Full inhale at the top, heels high, reaching high. Exhale, hands to the heart, heels down, nice and slow. And connect with your breath again. Slow, long exhales. Notice the toning of the inner thighs, the glutes, lower abdominals. Excellent. Doing one more flow. Doing it on the other side. Incorporating some different postures. So inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Wonderful. Take your left foot back to a low lunge. Sink the hips forward, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the back leg and walk your front foot back, high plank. Inhale, lean forward, again, the knees can come down. Exhale for diagonal chaturanga. Cobra pose on the inhale. And downward facing dog. Awesome. Kick take your left leg up to the sky to inhale. Exhale, pick up the right heel, roll forward like a plank, foot to the outside of the left hand. This time, bring your right knee down to the ground. Your left arm will go up to the sky. Option here might be to bend that back knee and go grab the foot behind you. If you don't quite make it there, it's all good. You can go to the previous variation or even pick up the back thigh if that feels right. Take another full inhale here. Exhale, bring your gaze down and pivot to the long side of the mat, so to your right. This time, take your left hand to the center of your mat, right arm up to the sky, so we're twisting to the back of our mat. Crown is reaching forward, left hip shifts back a bit. Take another full inhale. Exhale, top hand down, walk your hands to face the front. And we'll settle that right knee down to the ground. Chest comes up, inhale. Exhale, settle deep into those hips. If you want to explore a little bit of the back bend, we can shift our hips back and recruit more glutes, recruit more of the abdominals, and start to explore leaning back and lifting the heart. You can always take your hands onto that left thigh for more support. Maybe you're wiggling your arm bones behind you. We find the expression of our posture. Doesn't have to look like anything. Just targeting the front of that right hip. Inhale, pull the heart forward again. And exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Tuck in your back toes, lift the back knee up. Walk, baby step forward, your right foot forward. Lengthen and fold forward. So last time we stayed in our pyramid pose. If you want to explore your standing splits, it'll be right leg up to the sky. So if the left knee is bent, it's perfectly fine, but lower your right hip down. If the left leg is completely straight, then we can open up that right hip, causing damage to that left knee, or unwanted pressure rather. Take another full inhale here. Exhale, bend both knees, right foot joins the left one, sink back into your chair. Lower that right leg, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Tone in, hug to the midline. And we'll do a twist over to the left. So right hand comes forward, left hand goes back. Remind yourself the twist happens in the torso, not the hips. Keep that left thigh bone pointing forward and in line with your mat. Standing leg strong and straight. Come back to center, arms up, inhale. Exhale, move towards that warrior three, just like we did before. And this time it will be a little bit different as we inhale here. And then exhale, bend the standing leg, bring your left foot to a 45-degree angle. We're coming up into a warrior one, reaching forward and up on the inhale. Exhale to settle into that hip. Front thigh bone is pointing forward, create lots of length. And exhale, cactus the arms, slide the shoulder blades down your back. Options might be to interlace your fingers behind your back here as we lift the heart. Opening up the chest. One more, full length of the breath. Good. Release the arms and reaching forward and up again, inhaling. Exhale, hands come down, frame the right foot and lift your back heel up to square out the hips. Anchor the hands, kick your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Maybe you're making big circles, small circles. Another variation might also be wild thing. So you can kind of lean forward, load the left arm, roll to the outside of the left foot, and land your right toes behind you. Hips go nice and high. Good. Inhale, keep that right leg up. And exhale, roll forward, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Left knee comes down. And we're twisting to the right, so right arm can go up, or if you bent the back knee, grab that ankle or foot behind you for that quad stretch, and that's an option too. Whatever variation we choose, we give our choice an honest chance. Inhale. Release that foot if you did, pick up the back knee, and as you'll exhale, pivot to the left side of your mat. It'll be the right hand down to the ground, left hand to the lower back. We're twisting the upper body to the back of our mats. Maybe left arm up to the sky. Crown is reaching forward, far away from that right hip. Another full inhale. Exhale, gaze down, top hand down. Come all the way forward again. And bring your left knee down to the ground. You can always pat it up if that feels best. Anjaneyasana. Chest up, lift the heart, reaching high. My favorite pose. Settle deep into those hips. Good. Legs stay strong. You can always take your hands down to the ground. If you feel it a lot in the lower back, push into the front foot. Tailbone goes heavy, pubic bone lifts up, recruiting abdominals and glutes. And maybe exploring a little bit of the back bend. Inhale, pull the heart up again. And exhale, release the hands down. Pick up the back knee. Walk the back foot in slightly and look to straighten out the right leg, lengthen the spine. Exhaling to hinge and fold forward. And we can stay here or move towards that standing splits like we did on the other side. Left leg up to the sky. Stay strong through your core. Another full inhale. Exhale, bend both knees. Left foot joins the right one. Sink back into your chair. Loading the left leg and pressing up. Right knee in towards your chest. Take your time. Get there when you get there. Focus on the standing leg being strong and straight. And on your exhale, keep the belly tight and twist to the right. So left hand forward, right hand back. Breathe. Try to keep the standing leg straight. A little more weight into the heels, less into the toes. Breathe a bit more through the ribs as you twist the upper body, not so much the hips. Back to center, arms up to inhale. Exhale, right foot back, lean forward, warrior three. And we're going to that warrior one. So bend the standing leg, back foot at a 45, ground and reach forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, settle deeper into those hips. Inhaling here. Exhale, cactus, slide back and down. And if we did it on the other side, maybe interlacing your hands behind your back, pulling the heart forward. I like to keep a slight bend in my elbows to protect my shoulders. Hands away from the lower back. 2 more long breaths. Super strong pose. On your next inhale, release the bind, reaching forward and up. Exhale, hands down as you lift your back heel off the ground to square out the hips. Anchor the hands, kick your left leg up to the sky. Bend that knee, open up the hip. And if you flip your dog on the other side, move slowly in your transitions. Make sure you feel strong and stable in the right arm, outside of the right foot, and in the left toes. Coming through again. 3-legged dog to inhale, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, roll forward, knee to nose. Walk the foot in. Hips forward, lift the heart. Inhale. Exhale, right foot joins the left one, folding top of our mats. Half lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. And we'll hold it here for a few breaths. So, you may choose to step your feet onto your hands if you can get there. If not, ragdoll can be a great option. A couple more long breaths. Knees can always be bent here. Excellent. And let's release the arms. Bend the knees, stick your bum back, chair pose. And sink a little bit into it. Wonderful. Lift those heels up again. Find your calf muscles. We'll slowly start to press up. Take your time. Inhale at the top. And at the exhale, we'll bend the knees and come back the way we came. Try to keep the heels up nice and high. You may want to take your hands down as you draw your knees wide, maybe onto blocks. And we'll round in into pose where we intend the forearms to come down. I think it's called rabbit pose. And take your hands behind you, sit your bum back onto the ground, grab the big toes. As we lean the upper body back behind us, try to lift the heels off the ground. And try to bring your shoulders back behind you. So engaging in the upper back muscles, keeping the upper back engaged as you try to straighten out the legs. Now if the legs don't straighten out, it doesn't matter. Just try your best. Breathe. Tone your thighs. Another full inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees and bring your feet down onto the ground. Give yourself a little hug. Push your lower back forward, crown tall. And breathe. Excellent. And we'll cross the legs in front of us. Sometimes sitting on a block can help us maintain the better height for the hips, so we can relax the hips a bit more and find good position of the pelvis. Nice natural curves in our lower back. I invite you to find a nice tall seat. You can always sit in hero pose, sitting on your heels if you prefer. Work a little bit with the neck. So think of your right ear being pulled up towards the sky and your right clavicle getting real heavy. Think of the crown of the head being pulled up by a string, and then the left ear being pulled up, creating length from the ear to the clavicle. And just keep going from side to side. So instead of thinking about compressing the ear to the shoulder, think about lengthening and heightening the ear towards the sky. Go nice and slow. Doesn't necessarily have to be with the breath, but it can be. Do it one more time to the right side, and then come back to center. And then we'll do no. So looking the gaze over top of the right shoulder, coming back and going to the left shoulder. We can go all the way to our end range, trying to keep the shoulders back. So try not to let the shoulders collapse forward. And the idea is again to move away from this thought about compressing one side. Think about more about lengthening the opposite side. Do it a couple more times. Excellent. Now come back to center, and we'll bring the chin down to the chest. We're not rounding the neck, we're just pivoting at the top vertebra. So it's like upper vertebra. So it's like a double chin, yeah? You're bringing the chin towards the chest, kind of squeezing it in. It's almost like you're bringing your chin back as well. And then bring your chin up, but forward. You can even bring your bottom jaw out, stretch out all the scalenes and sternocleidomastoids. And then again, we'll come up and down from double chin to super high chin. Think of that same movement for our next stretch for the shoulders and chest. So lengthen the legs out in front of you and take your hands behind you. Fingertips will point back, anchor the tips of the fingers and lift the heart up. At first we find the engagement in the upper back muscles. So you're kind of squeezing your shoulder blades closer towards each other. But then think about, and it's very subtle movement, there's hardly any movement really.
think about broadening the upper back. So it's like you're pushing the upper arm bones apart slightly. It's very subtle. And then start with the double chin. So we're not bringing the head forward, we're just bringing the chin down and almost back. Yeah? And we can stay here, or we can bring the chin up to the sky. It's a little forward, see? Make sure there's no headache or any kind of cause of like compression in the back of the neck. If you'd rather keep the chin down, you can do that. If you want to go a little bit further for the shoulders, you can press into the feet, press into the palms, and walk your hips a little further forward. Make sure the shoulders agree with this. It's not a position we load very often. And then bring your hips back again so you can take the weight out of the hands. And we come down onto our backs. We'll bring the right knee in towards our chest and hug that in. And keep the left foot flat on the ground. We'll start to straighten out your right leg to the sky. And walk your hands up that leg without lifting your head off the ground. So grabbing wherever you can. It might be behind the thigh, the calf, the ankle. And then we get the shoulders to become heavy. The bum may lift a little bit, the lower back may flatten, that's fine. We can stay here, connect with our breath. Another option might be to straighten out your left leg in front of you, thinking of the left thigh getting heavy, toes happy. More full cycle of your breath, nice and slow. Good. And then bend both knees, the left foot comes flat onto the ground again. And as you flare that right knee wide, bring your arms up and grab the right foot by interlacing your fingers on the pinky side of the foot. So the elbows, both elbows are on the inside of that right knee. We can pull, if we want to, the foot towards the chest. Okay, nothing forced. Think of it kind of like a pigeon pose. And maybe for more advanced or intermediate practitioners, we can bring the foot through the inner crease of the left elbow. You'll want to release this pose slowly. And straighten out the leg entirely above you, and then slowly bring the foot down to the ground. The left knee comes in towards the chest, we hug that in. Connect with our breath. And left leg up to the sky, walking the hands up that leg. Shoulders get heavy. If the knee is bent, it's perfectly fine, but we can always walk the hands a little bit lower to try to straighten out the leg a bit more. Your left knee will let you know what's best. You can stay here, or find a bit more core as we kick that right leg forward, getting the right thigh to be heavy. Legs are active, happy, happy toes. Another full inhale. As you exhale, bend both knees, right foot comes down onto the ground. As you flare the left hip open, grab the foot with both hands, interlacing the fingers, and then work the foot towards the chest. So just letting the shoulders get heavy might be good enough to open up that hip. And if you want to try working a little bit closer towards the chest, maybe one day it'll find its way to the inner crease of the right elbow. Not important. Does not make you a better person. What it does is accepting where we are, working with what we have, simply trying our best, letting go of the results. Release under control, straighten out that left leg entirely, and then bring the foot down onto the ground. As we press into the feet, shift your hips a bit to the right hand side, and let your knees fall over to the left.
I like to keep both shoulders grounded, so sometimes sliding a block underneath that bottom thigh or between the thighs might help us support the lower back a bit more. Here I'll invite you to slow your exhale. If you want to join me in Brahmari, Brahmari is the M sound, like a bumblebee. We'll do it for 3 rounds. So the inhale is slow and long. Time, come back to center, feet flat on the ground. I'm not quite sure if you're able to hear that on the audio. It's just the M sound, like a bumblebee. It's the sound that we make when we, soothe a child that's hurting or is crying, or when we stub our toe. Hurts a bit. So we soothe ourselves with that sound. Let's try the other side. So hips to the left and knees to the right. Finding whatever variation you might have done on the other side. Take a moment to settle in, adjust, readjust, to find your comfort. Make sure the exhale is super long and smooth. If you want to join me for 3 rounds of Brahmari on this side, find your rhythm. Make sure the inhale is long and slow too. Center. Move towards your final expression, final shavasana. You can pick up the right leg a millimeter and lengthen it out and drop it. Pick up the left leg a millimeter, lengthen it out and drop it. Pick up the right arm a centimeter, lengthen it out, reach and drop it. Left arm forward, reach, reach, reach. Up the hip by pressing into the heel, squeeze the bum and release. Squeeze all the muscles of your face towards the center, squint your eyes, pucker your lips, squeeze, 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 and release. Last one, open the eyes, stick out your tongue, nobody's watching. Stretch, 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 and release. Any final little adjustments for your final relaxation?
out a bit. Maybe you want to hug in your knees, or maybe roll to your side. And eventually, again, no rush, come up to a nice tall seat. Come in a little bit closer. Finish the practice with a little bit of pranayama, a little bit of breath work. So the goal here will be to find a ratio of 1:4:2. Now we may not reach that perfect ratio, and that's perfectly fine. We're just moving towards that. So let's say our inhale is roughly 3 seconds. Our exhale would be 6 seconds, and the pause in between would be 12 seconds. Now we can cheat a little bit by, just counting a little faster if that 12 count is a little bit too much. Eventually, we're looking to slow everything down, of course. If your breath is 4-second inhale, 8-second exhale, it would be something like a 16-second hold. If it causes any anxiety or any feeling of unwanted pressure in the throat, it's best to just release the breath. So your left hand comes onto your left thigh. Right hand, the index finger and middle finger rest on the third eye. You have your thumb and ring finger just above the nostril. They don't actually have to go on the nostril. Just a little bit of light pressure will block the air passing through that nostril. Bring your shoulder back, elbow kind of comes in slightly. Okay, so we'll take a full inhale through both nostrils. And then exhale through both nostrils. And plug right. Inhale left for 3, 2, fill up the lungs, 1, and hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 3, 2, fill it up, 1, and hold. Try to remain calm and still. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. Make sure the inhale is full and complete. Feel the volume of the lungs. Hold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale left for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 4. Now if this count is too long, just switch back to the 3, 12, 6. Hold and find your rhythm. You may be holding for 16 or 12. I'll let you guys do a few rounds or a couple rounds on your own. Next exhale is out of the left nostril for either 6 or 8. Be followed by an inhale of 3 or 4. And your hold, 12 or 16. nostril will be your last round. At the end of that exhale, releasing the hand onto the thigh, bringing all of your attention where that index and middle finger were resting between the eyebrows. Let the breath be natural and smooth. Thank you all for being here. I wish you all an excellent rest of your Yogapalooza. My name is Phil Landel. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.